Wait. Wait.
Before we can do all the fun AI stuff, we have to first understand the difference between the front end and the back end. In this video, we'll specifically be covering the front end, whereas in parts 2 and 3, we'll cover the back end and how they both fit together. So what is the front end? It's best to think of it as the user's actual visual and interface. The types of programming languages include HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, which is actually a form of JavaScript, but soon may be written in Go and is already in the process. And then Python potentially with PyScript. Who writes the code for this kind of stuff or designs the files that goes into it? That includes designers who could use an image editor to make PNGs, etc. And it also includes front-end developers and engineers. Where does this code run? It runs on the client side and usually within the browser. But sometimes it can actually run on the server side, such as the case in Node.js, Ajax, and even PyFire within Python. It all connects together in a very complex process between different backends, front ends. They all message together through a communication system. When would you use the front end? It would be when you want things to interact quickly and you don't want to be having the user refresh all the time. You'll get fast updates and also automatic rendering, such as when you were to scroll an Instagram feed or through TikTok, you don't want it to refresh every time. You want it to automatically render the content. This brings up an important note about cybersecurity. You should make sure not to have any of your backend or other sensitive information on the front end. You shouldn't have any validations happening on the client side. And you also, just as a user, shouldn't be doing sketchy downloads that can use your front end on your behalf. Let's summarize what we just went over. Who's involved in the front end? It's designers, software engineers, and software developers. What is the front end? It's the user experience. Where do you find the front end? Where does this code run? It's running on the client side. When do you need it? During fast and simple rendering apps that use that. And lastly, why are you not following me yet? You'll need to stick around and follow so that you'll know what's going on in parts 2 and 3, which is where we cover the back end and then how the front end and back end actually fit together.